Hello YouTube! It's the Student Witch. Welcome to my couch. Instead of sitting at my desk, I'm on my couch because I'm going to talk about this blanket, and you'll see why. Brief introductions to the plants behind me. This is our huge corn plant tree beard. That is Scarlet, our mosaic plant. And over there in the corner, there we go. That's Luna, our little cactus. Anyway, those are my plant babies. I wanted to talk briefly about knitting, which is a craft, and I think knitting, just like all aspects of life, can be included in witchcraft. That's why we have the word craft there, to remind us that it is a thing that we do and not just something we say. We walk the walk, not just talk the talk, right? So I thought of this video because I'm currently doing a few knitting projects for a friend of mine who is pregnant. Her baby is due in November, and she and her husband decided to wait until the birth to see if it's a boy or a girl. And I'm a beginner newbie witch, and I'm also a beginner at knitting. I've only made scarves before, and so I promised her some baby knitting things, and one of those is going to be a baby blanket. So this is the largest project that I've taken on so far. But before I get to that, knitting in general and how it can pertain to knitcraft, to witchcraft. If you think of something like a witch's ladder, which is, from what I've researched, just 3 different strands of some sort of thread or yarn or fabric, usually in 3 different colors, and the colors symbolize whatever you need them to, and you braid them and you put your intention into them. Well, a knitting project can just be a longer, more complicated version of a witch's ladder, right? So as I've been working on these knitting projects for my friend's baby, I have been putting my intention into them. Not every single knit stitch that I do, but in general I meditate on putting my intention of love, health, and prosperity for her baby. So love, health, and prosperity. Love, health, and prosperity. So the first thing I started working on, and I haven't finished, is kind of a burp blanket or a burp towel. This is made, the fabrics that I chose, or the skeins of yarn that I got, they're worsted weight. They're from the Sugar and Cream, sorry the thing is backwards again, but it's Sugar and Cream Company. The cotton is from the United States, and then it's processed in Canada, so it's fairly regional. And you can get this at stores like Walmart, Target, Michael's. I think I got these at Walmart. Or no, I got them at Michael's actually. So I have these 2 skeins, which I'm going to make into a burp cloth, or just an all-purpose, machine washable kind of towel or cleanup cloth, because as we all know, babies are pretty messy, especially at the beginning when they're puking half of what they eat. So I'm going to use these. There's two skeins of this yarn, and if you can, I don't know if you can tell, but it's a mixture of greens and light greens and blues. Very beautiful colors. So again, this is just plain old cotton. I think they're about $3 each, $2 or $3 for each skein. The project I have going on now with the same company and the same yarn, just different colored yarn, is this. And this is 2 skeins of this yarn, which is a mixture of yellow, greens, whites, and blues. Again, gender neutral colors, even though it's kind of ridiculous that we've assigned colors to gender, but whatever. Feminist rant put aside. So this, it's kind of an awkward length, but I always figured if it's too long, she can always just double it like that. So what I've got going on, and I'm not sure if you're going to be able to tell, maybe, maybe not, but there's an edge to it. So the edge is 3 stitches thick, and then the main body I've made flat by alternating between purling the purl stitch and the knit stitch. So I'll purl a row, and then when I go on the back to continue, I'll knit the whole row. So it's just something very simple, very machine washable. It's meant to get used, meant to get dirty, and the colors are beautiful. So that's project number 1. It's basically kind of going to be a very long burp cloth towel kind of thing out of machine washable cotton. So those, you know, these are meant to get used and meant to get dirty. Now the larger project that I just started yesterday, it is a baby blanket. I wanted to use all natural fibers, but I can't spend $50 or $60 just in skeins of yarn to make a baby blanket. So I went down to Michael's and I did get acrylic yarn, but it is very, very soft. Actually, I think the name of the yarn is something ridiculous. It's Snuggly Wuggly, and there's even a picture of a baby on it. This is the accent color. I have 2 skeins, or 2 large rolls of this color. It's kind of a minty bluish green. It's by the Loops and Threads company, the Snuggly Wuggly. It is a light worsted weight yarn, so you're going to want to use a size 6 knitting needle, and I prefer the circular knitting needles just because I'm paranoid about the knitting sliding off the needle and getting ruined. So a circular needle is always just helpful. Again, size 6. I prefer the bamboo knitting needles to the metal ones because the bamboo just feels like it has a better grip on the yarn as you're working with it. So yeah, this is the accent color to the baby blanket. And then, by the same company, the main color is this huge roll of yarn. This is over 1,000 yards, and these are about 450 yards each. So I'm sure I'll have plenty. If not, I can just go back to Michael's and get more. Again, this is light worsted weight, so size 6 knitting needle. So this is, it's kind of hard to tell, almost looks white in the video, but this is a very pale kind of pastel yellow. So we have the pastel yellow and the light minty bluish green, which I think are quite nice together. And the project, I just started it yesterday, so it's kind of hard to tell at this moment, but it's based on a lace pattern that I actually found on a video on YouTube, which I will include in the description box below, because since I am a beginner, sometimes lace patterns can be kind of intimidating, but this is a lace pattern that I can actually not fuck up, which is a miracle. So this is my first lace pattern project, and it's my first project as big as a baby blanket. So let me see if I can show you a section so you can get an idea of what I'm doing with this baby blanket. Let me stretch out a piece. So it does have a wave look to it. It's called a feather and fan lace pattern. So you can see kind of the open holes there and how it has a curve to it. It's hard to tell now, but if you want to see a better picture of it, check out the video in the description box. But the reason I'm on the couch is that this blanket that we have on the couch that a friend actually gave to me as they were cleaning out their house, this is the same pattern, so this is ultimately kind of a larger version of the baby blanket. As you can see, you have the holes here, and it is in a wave, and the curves at the bottom, how the edge kind of makes more waves. So I'm not going to alternate the colors as often as this does. This actually has 3 different colors in it. Mine's only going to have 2. But that's kind of how it's going to end up if I don't fuck it up. So, like I said earlier, as I'm knitting, I put my intention for prosperity, health, and love for the baby. And I might even, before I give it to her, I might even bless it by maybe burning some incense or some sage and putting even more intention to protect her child and make sure that it has a long, happy life. So, yeah, so I just wanted to kind of put this video up as a short little reminder to myself, but also a way to kind of throw this idea out there of how, you know, being a witch or living this new spiritual philosophy or religion or whatever you want to call it, it means, you know, walking the walk and not just talking the talk. It means it infiltrates all aspects of your life. Whether you're cooking or knitting or doing ritual with the moon or lighting a candle, it's all a ritual, it's all spiritual. So again, if you want to check out this feather and fan lace pattern, check the description box below. And thanks for watching, and happy knitting, blessed be.